Dun, 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 dun. All right. Hello. I guess I can move in and I can also move back. Okay, well, last Wednesday I made a video on Facebook explaining that I was going to be cutting my hair in 7 days, which is now 2 on Wednesday. I mentioned that I'll be shaving my head bald and donating my hair to like a wig making children's cancer. That's so funny. Why do I get like that? I can be myself. I'm allowed to be myself. I get so deep and reflective. I get so like, I must be serious. Whereas in actuality, when I'm hanging out with literally any person or anybody in my life or any other moment of my life, I'm like, but here in front of my camera, I have to be solemn and serious. I'm not allowed to be silly and goofy, because even though I am actually silly and goofy, if I'm doing shit like that in front of my camera, it means that I'm performing and that it's not the real me. And it's a stage persona that I'm using to fool and dupe you with and convince you that I'm some kind of way, where in actuality, I'm a lesser version of that. I'm not as animated. Who is? That would be ridiculous. Clearly it's performative. Clearly it's fake. It's a mask. It's inauthentic. That's the feeling. That's the feeling. I have to be solemn and serious, because if I'm lighthearted and goofy and energetic, then I'm lying. That's the feeling. But I'm not lying. It's how I am. I'm like this. I'm literally like this. I just smoked some fucking really nice dank kush, and it's got me feeling a little bit jazzy. I'm feeling a little bit jazzy. And that's the reality. I literally won't live that reality because I'm so self-conscious about being judged, I'm so self-conscious about appearing inauthentic, appearing as if it's all just a facade, it's all just a mask, it's all a lie, like I'm lying by behaving like this. Where in actuality, no, this is how I motherfucking am, and I'm not ashamed of it. It's who I am. It's what it is, man, because it ain't what it isn't. I mean, obviously, I'm being a bit energetic now, obviously. I'm yelling and I'm acting a fool, clearly, but for real, that's part of it. That's no overextension of the truth. So with that being said, goodbye long hair. Yes, last Wednesday I posted a video on Facebook saying that I would be shaving my head bald in a week, donating my hair to children's cancer, and becoming an egg man. I mentioned very briefly in that video that I'm doing it because it's a good chance to do a good thing, and we ought to do that. And because I do feel the winds of change are blowing, and I'd like to here now dwell and expand on that point a little bit more. I'm about to turn 30 in just over a month, which is crazy. Just over a month, I'll be 30 years old. And 30 has been a big number for me. It's been a big number that's coming up for some time in my 20s. I finished my degree when I turned 25, and I said to myself, I'm going to give myself until I'm 30 to figure out this video making stuff, to figure out whether or not I can make content for the internet, and that's my direction. And that's been my dream, and I've been working towards it in so many different ways, sometimes quite indirectly. In fact, to make more progress towards it, I've had to turn away from it and focus on myself and focus on growing and learning and understanding myself, and just doing some work to progress my ability to self-regulate, to really understand myself and understand how I get in my own way, how I'm so self-destructive, to learn this nature of mine. I'm so erratic, I'm so energetic, I'm so compulsive, I can be so foolhardy, I can be so brash. So often I don't see the problems I'm making for myself in my life, and that's causing me to be just completely dysfunctional and totally unable to engage with this craft of sitting in front of a camera and creating videos and thinking of ideas and being creative and creating. And I also simultaneously have this compulsion within me, this desire, this dream, this drive, this wish to make stuff that's funny and good and entertaining and quality and, with substance, with soul, like to really bake in this part of myself, this wild, erratic, crazy nature into my content and make some form of art. I read this book by Steven Pressfield. Well, I've read it, this was the second time through. It's called The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. I read it 2 years ago and I was like, wow, this is the most transformative book I've read in my life. Like, wow, this solves all my problems. Wow, this is really the most incredible thinking and philosophy. And it didn't affect much of a change at that time in my life. It seems like it was the wrong time. And then I read it just again recently, and it totally, I felt this like paradigm shift in my psyche. I felt this linkage between these massive blocked spheres of my life, and one was kind of my relationship with God, and one was my ability, my ideas about myself, well identifying as a creative type. And then the other was all of this fear and all of this blockage, which is part of those two things, I suppose, as well. Mostly this one here about my relationship with my creativity. Anyway, fundamentally, the book ends by saying, like, this stuff doesn't come from you. Don't self-identify as the creator. You are the vessel. This stuff, he's a godly man, and he's speaking about spirituality and God a lot in the book, speaking of the gods and the higher spheres and the muse and the angels that come down from these places and whisper in our ears the ideas that we then act upon to create God's work. And that finally solved the problem for me with my ego and looking at myself and being like, hey, look, it's me. I'm on a little video camera. Hi! Like, oh, man. Honestly, though, like sitting here in front of my camera in my room and seeing myself, and I'm like, oh, I'm not wearing a shirt, like, ooh. And like looking at myself and being like, this is effectively a video, right, on the internet, and you're sitting watching it. And it's like, here I am being like, me time. Like, hey, everybody tune in to channel me. All right, hey, look, there's a 20-minute video of me talking to the camera. Guess what? Me, the next 20 minutes of your life, me. And there was this misunderstanding of that, like, because I so don't like want that. I so don't like that. I detest that. I want to operate antithetically to that. I don't want to be on some like, here I am, it's me all the time, me, on some like ego shit, and I'm so fearful of that, and that's been such a blockage. And this book by Stephen Pressfield goes on to explain how you can view things, that if you've been given a dream, if you've got this thing inside you that you want to do, you want to achieve, and it's a work of creativity, it's a work of art, maybe it's abstract, maybe it's bizarre, and you want to do that, that's what your soul is yearning for, then that's God speaking to you. That's what you're created for, that, creating your art, whatever that is, and pursuing that with your heart for good purpose and good reason to help the world and bring it closer to the vision that God had for it, is a good thing. I do indeed feel the winds of change blowing. I feel like things are kind of different now than they have been, now that I've made this mental connection, and I'm so enthusiastic to do my work. And even sitting here in front of this camera right now and being self-expressive and authentic and not feeling like ashamed about it, not feeling embarrassed by it, just being like, this is who I am. You don't have to like it. You can just click away from my video. You don't have to watch my videos. You can watch them for 5 seconds and be like, oh, and leave. No one's forcing you. Like, I'm allowed to, I can do this. It doesn't need to be a me selfish thing. It can be a beautiful thing. Even just kind of speaking that out and doing it to my camera in my living room, and feeling comfortable doing so, feeling strong doing so, is such a push forward. It's such a, So to commemorate the occasion of things feeling a little different and feeling like perhaps the next chapter and few years of my life and the beginning of my 30s, this beginning of this era, the finale of the 20s, the beginning of the 30s, that through this shift of age and of these decades, and people talk about a Saturn return. I don't know much about that, but sure. I'll shave my head bald, cut off my mustache, and become a human egg and be like an egg man and do egg-related things and sing a song about being an egg and film some videos about being an egg, and also donate the hair to child's cancer charities for the greater good. And that'll be a great way to commemorate the occasion. That'd be a great way to kind of physically identify with this transition as well, with this feeling of change, like to also let it manifest in something, my presentation, but something that has really been my identity for years now. Like my long hair, my bare feet, I don't wear shoes, my bare feet, my long hair, and my thick bushy mustache, it gives me this like dirty, kind of careless, rogue, like hippy dippy, ubby lovey, maybe like cowboy kind of look, and that's what I think it does, at least anyway. And I really self-identify with that as my personality, like as my character. Okay, it's time to take the braids out. I've never had braids in my hair, In all the years that I've had long hair, I've never actually had my hair braided. And I also heard that if you get them wet and let them dry, that your hair has like a wave. It gets like wavy, which is kind of cool. So let's see what that looks like. What was I saying? The long hair, the mustache, particularly the long hair though, it suits my personality. My sister agrees. It suits my personality. It matches my personality. And it's part the reason why I started growing my hair out long in the first place a few years ago. No, you know what? It was judgment of others, man. I'm tripping. It was judgment from others. So the thing was that when I have short hair, okay, I have quite strong masculine features, right? Like top to bottom. I've got like a bit of a thick build. I'm a relatively solid dude. I'm not a stick bug, you know? And that's my natural shape. And I also push weights in the gym, and I do like exercise and fitness and stuff like that, but that is just my natural shape. So I'm like a bit of a thicker, muscular guy. I've got this strong jaw, you know. Watch me break my arm jerking myself off. Anyway, I have kind of like strong masculine features, and then I mentioned earlier that I'm foolhardy and I'm brash, and this is like part of my nature, and I'm softening. I've matured a lot in the last few years, particularly like the last 4, thankfully to like my family and everyone who knows me, because I've been a hooligan all my youth, a blind, self-destructive, highly sensitive, low self-awareness hooligan. So it's good to finally be maturing and growing and understanding life and myself better. But back in the day when I was this hooligan, and I also had these strong masculine features, people would very quickly pigeonhole me and profile me as like a jock douchebag. And that would be without even really knowing me, or with only kind of recognizing those qualities about me being brash or foolhardy or reckless is a big one and has been a big one. And I was a bit of a boy's boy. I used to drink a lot of beer, you know, like that's kind of the role model that I was following, you know, in my life. For sure, people were definitely making contact with the truth in the fact that I was a bit of a jock, a bit of a boy's boy, a bit of a dumb idiot kind of guy. But there was this other thing that was true about me that is so much more better expressed and more expressed than it was back then. That, you know, I'm also sensitive, and I'm sentimental, and I think a lot, and, you know, I have convictions and ideas, and I'm a man of principle, and I'm scrupulous with, you know, how I want to live my life, and I've been seeking a relationship with God. I feel like I'm a very highly creative person. I feel like I've got ideas that I really want to share, that I really want to see come to life in the world, and there's this deeper part of myself that's being completely missed by people just seeing me, like, you know, do a handstand drunk and then tackle my friend and being like, ugh, like, you know, what a lad, what a douche, look at him. And so against that judgment, I felt like it was time to grow my hair out long, and that it would be, you know, a journey of sorts, like a pilgrimage to experience this life of having long hair and being like a long hair dude, you know, like what that means for me. And the other dudes who have long hair are, you know, typically a type, and, you know, to be seen, to be like them, and all these things. And it has been a pilgrimage. It's been a real journey. Wow, look at that. That looks ridiculous. Wow, look at that, dude. That's crazy. I look like some kind of like reggae dude. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Don't you know the waves spill like the ocean blue, like my wavy do. I feel like this makes me look far much more like a musician, maybe like a bass player or some kind of soul funk band group member. I feel like this makes me far more musical. I know that if I sit down at that piano, I ain't gonna have much more success than usual. Shit, fuck, let's test that. I'm a real musician, look at my hair. Man, it's just incredible how cold you get with piano. I'm only a beginner, so I don't really know much, but if you're just not sitting in front of the damn thing, you get so cold on it, you know? Play the blacks, just play the blacks. That's jazzy, yeah. I'm a real musician, jazz. Soulful, I got thoughts. Just play the blacks. Every NBA coach ever, said every wannabe musician with wavy long hair who doesn't really know what he's doing in front of a keyboard. Alright, confirmed. I'm no better at music from my long wavy hair, but it was nice to tickle the ivory, even if just for an awkward moment. That's so cool. Wavy like the ocean. So yeah, goodbye long hair. Oh yeah, so I fished through all of my different group chats and communication channels on social media to find some photos of me over the last 4 years, because I have pretty actively dodged being in photos my entire life. It's part of this aspect of like me not wanting to be on camera and me not wanting to be like me. Look back to the earlier photos in here when my hair was only just starting to get long and I was wearing this headband, and it was definitely a far more awkward version of myself back then, a very troubled version of myself. I think that was me at around, 26 or so. When I was 26, I was wearing that headband. Oh man, I was just so troubled back then. I was, going through so much, and the beginning of change was 26 and a half. I finally managed to get through depression. It started when I was about 16, and when I was 26 and a half, I remember that's more or less when it kind of stopped going downhill and started going back uphill. And there was such a long way to go. I dug myself, I'd fallen so far down that it was the beginning of the journey back up. And that's also when I started experiencing anxiety and like fearing for, about my life and death, and fearing about never achieving my dreams and like all these things. But anyway, I just see that in that period of my life, looking at these photos, I remember that rather. And, then my hair started growing out a little bit longer, and eventually I didn't have to wear the headband, and I could kind of tuck it behind my ears, just like these first, these strands here were just long enough back then that I could actually tuck them behind my ears and they'd poke out from underneath, and it wouldn't always stay in, it would get in my face a lot, but I could wear my hair like out and long, and then it started getting longer and longer, and in the last 4 years since I've been growing it, I had it cut once. I got it cleaned up because I felt like, my mum kept saying to me like, "My boy, you must cut your hair. You must cut your hair back a little. Let mama cut it." In fact, I did. Wait, no, I've had it cut twice. Mum cut it once, that's right, and she gave me a bloody bob cut. It gave me like a middle-aged woman haircut, and all my friends made fun of me for a while before it grew back out again, so thanks, Mum. I remember that. But yeah, it's been good. Like I've really enjoyed having long hair recently in this last kind of year of my life. I've got long hair, I tie it up. I love to shampoo it and condition it and like run my fingers through it and pull out all the hairs that need to be removed, so my hair is like straight, it's unknotted, and when it's well conditioned, it feels so clean, it has a nice scent. I've always enjoyed like wearing it out behind my ears, and I combine it. My look has been often revolving very, very, very much with this hat. This hat has been totally part of the journey. This is my favorite hat. It's the stoned Nana hat. When you put on the hat and you get stoned, you feel like happy, you feel like a stoned grandma. That's what I've always said to people, and it's my favorite hat, and I like wearing my hair back like that and then wearing this hat. I don't really wear hats, or it's a beanie, isn't it, really? But it's kind of like this custom, it's like a felt. You see that? Will that focus? Yeah, it's like a felt fabric. Someone must have made it. It's my favorite hat. I've loved wearing it with my long hair, and I will be wearing it a lot when I'm bald because I won't have any hair. So I'll always be wearing this beanie, actually. It'll probably be even more present in my life, which is exciting because this is my favorite hat. I love this hat. No one's ever loved anything more than I've loved this hat. Oh my gosh, go away, Donald Trump. Even here, even now. I will say long hair does get annoying for sure. When it gets knotty, if you're out camping, it gets in your food, so like your face sometimes when you're eating, and like you can have a strand of it in your mouth now and then and not realize it. In the wind, it's really bad. There have been times when I've been like eating or something and I haven't tied my hair up in time, and I've sat down with my plate of food and like dragged my hair through it a little bit and been like, bruh, I got really self-conscious for a while about the frizz at the top of my head. There was a period where I just couldn't stand all this like these short hairs hovering above my head and their weird little spiral pointed rat's ends. It felt like so like unelegant, and so just like it made me feel like, I don't know, dorky and ungroomed and like not elegant. Yeah. Isn't that funny? To go back, I guess, to the idea of when I first started growing it and me being like so troubled back then and really going through such a big change back then when I started growing it, finally getting through depression and essentially beginning the upward journey that my life is like currently continuing on, which is super exciting. And in this last period, it's been really an accelerated process of just like starting to fly uphill towards better times and good life and contentment of the soul and peace and productivity and action that's in alignment with my dreams, action that will actually bring about the fruition of my dreams, which is sitting and making videos like this. It's all been so wonderful, and it's nice that now that, I suppose my hair has reached its final length. I don't know if I'll ever get long hair again. I think it's been a once in a lifetime thing for me, and it's been a good period of my life for it, and I've quite enjoyed it, and never say never. Like I was saying earlier when I was gassing myself up, bruv. Aight? Strong jaw. Solid build, yeah? You know, I've also been, as my mum has said to me, ugh, this almost feels so cringy to say, but like, fuck, I don't give a fuck, eh? Like, I'm just, it comes from the heart. It doesn't come from the ego. But, you know, my mum has always said, you know, my boy, you're so handsome. You are such a handsome boy, my boy. And, you know, when I have short hair, it looks better on me. It helps, it accentuates and complements my other facial features that are working in my favor, one could say, you know, that make me appear handsome. And long hair kind of obfuscates a little bit. The mustache does as well. It makes me look older and, like I said, like a bit more ratty and like dirty and hippie. And, you know, when I've got a clean shave, no mustache, and short back in size, a bit longer on top, like a neat modern style, you know, I look a lot sharper. Yeah, I'm a little bit more like German boy model. Like, you know, in the club in Berlin, like, if you have been in the club for more than 4 hours, you have to go to the bathroom and let somebody piss in your mouth. It is the code of honor, the code of ethics of the club. I am also coming up on 30 and I'm still single, and I want a wife, I want a family, I want children. I pray that God gives me life and health and strength and humility, that I may pursue what feels like my soul's calling or my purpose, and from that pursuit be able to support a large, happy family. That's such a big dream of mine. And yeah, for a family you need a wife, and for a wife you need a woman looking a little bit neater and a bit sharper. That helps too, you know. So this is for the wife, yo. Babe, this is for you. Oh my gosh. Babe, I love my long hair. But you're out there. This is for you. Oh my gosh. You might find me looking a little bit more like a handsome little German boy, like my Führer's dream child. Well, not quite. I think he liked blonde hair, blue eyes. I got brown hair. Not here. Go away, Hitler. Not here. Trump and Hitler both popping up. Ah, shoo, 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 go away. New times are coming. The winds of change are blowing, and it's time to do something big in recognition of that. Time to really exemplify a period of change in my life. Let's go bald. Let's become an egg. Let's do egg things, make egg-related content, and make Eggman things and be Eggman. That's it. I've said enough. I've said too much. Have I? I've said plenty, that's for sure. That's for certain. My coffee's empty, and I've been yapping at my camera for a good while, so that'll do. So goodbye long hair, and goodbye fear of being myself in front of my camera and feeling like I'm being too much. Because, well, this is me. This is just how it is. See you on the other side.
What the hell?
Today's the day. Today is the day. Let's go do it. Let's go do it. I'm not much of a model, but this is undeniably an iconic moment. So let's get some shots. Ronald, it's been too long. Godfrey, I'm seeing Ronald. Life's kinda hard when nobody understands you. These winds, they will not heal. Crawling in my skin. Safety first, kids. Morning, Inspector.
Morning.
May I mount this pole?
Oh, you sure can.
You're gonna give me a ticket for it, will you?
I mean, it is on the phone. No, you're kidding.
This is so luxurious. That's what I want to be like. I want to be a bad bitch who shakes her ass and like slaps her pussy. You've got Gronk on one end of the spectrum and you've got Lad on the other, and then Eshe exists somewhere in between all of it.
Yeah, it's like a generalization
Yeah.
title. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Bada bing, bada bang. Yeah. How's that look?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's still attached.
Oh, it's not looking good for my hairline. This is my new look, everybody. Last one. Goodbye. Hell yeah, I look like Wolverine a little bit. Oh my gosh, I'm a short-haired man again. Damn, that hairline is looking busted. It's not good. See you guys, bye.
Bye.
A whole new haircut. I got the goods.
Hey, yo, you guys. You trying to buy some hair? I'm good, I'm good. I'm trying to buy some hair. I'm good, mate.
Hairline update. Shit ain't looking good. Bruh. Oh, fuck. Alright, man. It is what it is, man. New hair! I got new hair! And there it is. 4 years of my life all laid out. Damn. That's what it came down to. The true color and then the ends. A little bit sun-kissed. Wow, wowee. I'm as bald as a button. And it looks like my hairline is blasted. Tell me it ain't so! Tell me it ain't so, mama! Tell me it ain't so! Thursday morning. And a man's still not an egg.
Jesus
Fucking hell.
Christ.
Righto.
Right, mate.
There's a bit of a situation with the hairline as well.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
Seems to have slipped back a few notches overnight. Looking even a little bit more busted. Could you imagine it's possible? Fucking hell. Promised the people an egg, and it hasn't been delivered yet.
Yeah, what's the go? Why has the egg been waylaid?
The Clippers were a little bit too piss weak, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
There's no fucking eggs, even though I promised the people eggs. And that's a grave disappointment.
You know, it's like a walk of shame, but it's haircut of shame.
Well, for that to happen, it need to be a shameful haircut.
Oh, you're not ashamed of this? Fuck, I would be.
I've never felt more like a middle-aged man with a dad dick in my life.
It's somebody holding an egg. Time's up, pal. It's 1:15 egg. Eggs for dinner, eggs for lunch, eggs for breakfast, eggs for lunch. A chicken is just an egg's way of getting more eggs. I have lots of eggs. I'm rich. I'm smart. I'm swimming in the yolk. If you ain't even never smoked the homie stash before, how can you even say that's the homie?
I woke up and I was an egg. And then I had for breakfast 5 eggs. And then for lunch 5 eggs. And then I poured 5 eggs in a glass. And then I took my glass in the car. And then I drove my car real far. And then I went to a local bar. I went home and I laid my head on my pillow, but it was an egg. I was my pillow because I am an egg. I am an egg, so I ate 5 eggs. And for dinner I had 5 eggs. I have 5 friends and they all are eggs. My 5 eggs are all my head. I am all of my 5 friends. I got hungry, so I ate my 5 friends. I am an egg and I ate myself. I keep my eggs on the highest shelf. I keep my eggs on the highest shelf. My eggs are for me and me alone. I play with eggs when no one is home. I am an egg and this is my life. I am an egg and I ate 5 eggs. Yeah, that's it. We'll go with that.
All right. Friday, 24th of January, 2025, and it is finally done. I have finally finished raising the $2,750 for my hair donation. Look at that. Bada bang, bada bang. Been chipping away at it over the last few months, and it's finished. So it is time to go and donate the hair. I shaved my head bald about 3 months ago. It's coming back in. Thankfully, the hairline is somewhat recovered. I still have a bit of a widow's peak, but it doesn't look as busted as it did. Time to go donate the hair, and this project is officially finished. The hair project has come to an end. Thanks for watching. Oh, I had long hair, now I don't anymore. Oh, I had long hair, now I don't anymore. Oh, I had long hair, and I don't anymore. Yeah, I had